Top focus this evening, the stormy exchange in the Karnataka Assembly over a resolution passed by the state government demanding fair share of financial resources from the central is the latest flashpoint in the state. The BJP moved a counter resolution today, and this exchange could well set the tone for the 2024 campaign in the state. The BJP took to strong protests against the Congress, and the two parties are ready for a face-off in the Rajya Sabha polls coming Tuesday. My colleague Pratibha Raman has the day's developments, which we'll report before we deep dive into that issue.
Bharat Mata ki
The BJP took its protests from the well of the Karnataka Assembly yesterday to Bengaluru's Freedom Park on Friday. These protests were triggered by the Congress passing a resolution in the House against the central government, accusing it of unjust sharing of tax revenues. The BJP, for the first time in Karnataka legislative history, moved a counter-resolution even as a stormy assembly session drew to a close on Friday.
Almost all 6% nama capital expenditure kadme agide.
See, we were compelled to move this resolution. When the elected government stoops so level for political reasons to tell blatant lies in front of the people through this Vidhan Sabha, they have misused the platform of Vidhan Sabha.
The Congress's resolution, in line with the party's consistent allegations, said, "This House hereby unanimously resolves to urge the central government to take strong stand of equal distribution and non-discriminatory allocation of financial resources in the interest of the citizens, and that no injustice shall be done in the interest of the people of Karnataka as well as its development."
Whatever amount we have to get through the Finance Commission or from the central government has been totally injustice has been given. So we have moved a resolution. I think you remember Mr. Basuraj Bommai, when he was Chief Minister, answering to Mr. Siddaramaiah and Krishna Bairegoda, that point of time he made it very clear there is anomaly and we will all have to fight together. So on his instance, on his directions, on his giving us inspiration, we all are joining together to fight for the state of Karnataka. It is an enormous resolution which we wanted to do.
As the Congress gets set for the budget reply on the 26th of February, when the session comes to a close, the BJP is planning to head to the Raj Bhavan to register their complaint against the ruling party. While the Congress has been involved in a blame game with the centre, the BJP has been playing the number game with CM Siddaramaiah. The next week will start with the last day of the budget session in the Karnataka Assembly, which will define the battle lines expected for the upcoming Lok Sabha election. With camera person Kumar, Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
That's right. Could this define the battle lines for the Lok Sabha elections? Remember, it's an economic confrontation between the centre and the state, and there is a huge political overtone to it. Joining me this evening, Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Satya Prakash of the Karnataka Congress, and also noted cephalogist Sandeep Shastri. My first question to you, Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan, is there a worry that A, this could turn into a larger political narrative, A, given that there has been resonance to this conversation in several opposition rule states, and B, more importantly, beyond the politics, do you believe that there is an economic rationale and something that needs to be addressed at some level in terms of devolution of funds between states like Karnataka and the rest of India?
You see, it's very important for us to have a historical perspective in this regard as well, because Modi government, the central government, is working in the spirit of cooperative federalism. We do not want any confrontational approach between the center and the state. And that is the reason. Historically, if you see, Planning Commission used to be the agency that used to allocate funds to the state government. The first progressive step, as soon as the NDA government was sworn into in 2014, The central government ensured the Finance Commission will now distribute funds to the state government. And the Finance Commission, the first decision that was taken was that the share of state was increased phenomenally from 30% to 42% share in the central tax revenues. So our commitment can be judged from the first step that we took as soon as we sworn in. On the contrary, you look at the Congress party track record. What used to be the share of the state government in terms of central tax revenue share? 20%. After a long struggle, it was made 30%. But under Modi government, it became 42%. Number two, you look at the data. Let's speak on the basis of pure data from 2004 and 2014 when the UPA government was in power, and from 2014 to 2024 when the NDA government has been in power. The allocation from the central government when the UPA was in power to Karnataka was 81,000 crore in terms of the tax devolution and 60,000 crore in terms of the grant in aids. While on the contrary, we are seeing 240% increase in terms of funds allocated to Karnataka when the NDA has been in power. So from 81,000 crore, it's 2.82 lakh crore, and from 60,000 crore, it's 2.36 lakh crore. So 240% increase in terms of financial outlay, fund allocation from central government to state government, and also the commitment of the central government when it comes to cooperative federalism, when it comes to more share of the state from 20% once upon a time to 42% now. What is concerning is that the politics of separatism, the unnecessary, unwarranted politics of conflict, the unnecessary, unwarranted politics of confrontation between the center and the state government. The Karnataka Congress government has been in this habit of lying. They are spreading canard, they are spreading misinformation, and there is a sustained misinformation campaign by the Karnataka Congress which must be called out.
Let me get a response from Satya Prakash. You have taken an economic argument
on the
into a political connotation.
Satya Prakash, there cannot be rhetoric behind it.
What is the meaning of cooperative federalism? Cooperative federalism, you should understand what Modi said.
I think you should stop spreading lies. 1,06,000 crore, sir. 240% increase when it comes to fund allocation. 240% increase, sir. 240% increase when it comes to fund allocation from center to state government. So I don't think we need a lesson from you when it comes to
one at a time. Mr. Satya Prakash, your response. Dr. Paswan, 1 minute. Let Satya Prakash finish. Satya Prakash, go ahead.
Like Narendra Modi, man ki baat jaisa aap mat karo. Let me come back to the point. First, you need to understand the meaning of cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism means there should be cooperation between states and center. The point we are asking is, you are telling what was the devolution given by NDA and what was the devolution given by UPA. What was
unfortunately, we seem to have lost your audio, Mr. Satya Prakash. You were making a very important point, your audio. Can we please fix that audio? Okay, Mr. Satya Prakash, sorry, your audio we missed your audio for a bit there.
One should understand the basics of cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism means there should be cooperation between states and center. Center collects 68% of the total revenues in this country. All the states put together collect only 32% of the revenues in this country. While the expenditure is concerned, 68% of the total expenditure in this country is done by all the states. Only 32% of the revenues expenditure is done by the center. This imbalance has to be set right through devolution of tax. You are telling you increase the devolution of tax from 32% to 40%. Good. Why is it that our devolution to Karnataka from the 14th Finance Commission to the 15th Finance Commission reduced from 4.64% to 3.6%? You tell me, why was that 1.07% reduced for Karnataka? You tell me that. Why is it that for every 1 rupee that Karnataka pays, Karnataka gets only 13 paisa and Gujarat, Amit Shah and Modi state gets 28 paisa? You tell me, you give me answers for this.
A quick response from Dr. Paswan before I get Sandeep Shastri into the conversation.
No. You see, Veer, I can only respond on the basis of logic. I can only respond on the basis of facts. I can only respond on the basis of data. I'm not here to do politics. I'm not here to spread misinformation. I want to
I am
ask
giving
the
you
senior leader from
absolute
the Congress
data.
party
Then I said
that is
Karnataka
it
gets
not
13
true?
paisa of every
I did
rupee that
not,
we
sir,
give.
I did
I am
not.
speaking about
आप या
data.
तो उनसे बुलवा लीजिए. I think
Gujarat
this
gets
is the face
28
of the Congress
paisa.
party.
Sir,
I
This
Mr.
can
is
shout.
data.
I
Satyaprakash,
can
you need
shout
to
louder
wait.
than you, sir.
You're not
I
letting
can
Dr.
shout louder than you, sir. But my sanskar doesn't allow that.
But I am just giving you the medicine of what you gave
Veer
me.
Shava,
Do you
you should.
understand that you should not
No,
intervene
I
when
can,
others
sir.
are
I can
speaking?
shout louder than
let
you.
me ask.
I
I
can shout
understand there
louder
is an
than you, but
economic
my
argument.
sanskar doesn't
Hence,
allow
my
that.
dear
Let's
friend
pause on this.
Paswan, don't intervene when others are speaking.
Let me pause on this. Let me ask Dr. Sandeep Shastri now. Dr. Sandeep Shastri, there is an economic argument. There are two sides to this conversation. There is an economic argument. There are questions about devolution, which are possibly larger technical questions that need to be addressed and answered. The simple question today is, do you believe that this sort of sets the theme for the Karnataka Lok Sabha election campaign, given that the BJP has chosen a set of issues to focus on in the last assembly session, and then we've seen the Congress up the ante as far as the center versus state narrative? Do you believe that this can potentially become an electoral theme in the state, or do you still think that it's time to go for that?
There are two quick points on the debate. First, let's remember since 1983, when Karnataka had a competitive party system and different parties in power in the state and the center, this has always been a bone of contention. If you remember, Ramakrishna Hegde started it in 84, 85. So this debate has been an ongoing debate. I think the issue that people are missing out, and I deeply respect the data that the BJP spokesperson presented, but I would suggest that the data needs to be looked at not in real terms, but in percentage terms. Because real terms data does not really tell you much, because you need to account for inflation, you need to account for other factors also. I think, Veera, the challenge is the previous Finance Commission's methodology. I think there is truth in what Nirmala Sitaram said, that it's not the central government which is taking this decision, but the methodology prescribed by the previous Finance Commission is where the problem comes. And I think pressure needs to be put by the government on the next Finance Commission to change the formula. On your larger question, will it affect the 2024 elections? I think both the BJP and the Congress are chasing the wrong issues, unfortunately. The main issue for the Congress in this election should be the 5 guarantees they are promising to implement. I think they need to build, if they can, a perception on the 5 guarantees. Rather than that, I think the focus on we are being neglected, I personally believe that will not cut much ice with the voter. On the other hand, the BJP very clearly has said that we are going into this election with our leadership. The Prime Minister's leadership is our focus. The Prime Minister is the key factor. The Prime Minister himself talks about Modi guarantee now. Now, why is it that the two parties are not using their USP but focusing on other issues? It is these two USPs which will get them support at the end of the day. But then both parties seem to be using other issues, and the main core bread and butter issues before the people is not being taken up by either the BJP or the Congress.
See, Shastri.
Okay, my question now very quickly to Satya Prakash.
Yeah.
No, my question to you, Mr. Satya Prakash, we just have 2 minutes left. I'm going to give you one question and then get the final word from Dr. Paswan. Mr. Satya Prakash, this is an economic argument that needs to be made at a different level. By turning it into politics, the Congress is trying to regionalize the election, and this is your counter to Narendra Modi as far as the Lok Sabha elections. Your response quickly, and then I will get a final word from Mr. Paswan.
Raghavan, you need to understand that the Chief Minister has written number of letters for all the granting aids and all the things that, the center has to give to state. But it has fell on deaf ears. In a democracy, the only thing is we go to the People's Court. We are going to the People's Court in 24. In a state which gave them 26 MPs, we are going to the people of Karnataka to say what sort of cheating Modi and Nirmala Sitaram coming from our state has done to the people of Karnataka. Karnataka will overthrow this government. They'll bring down from 26 to around 2 to 3 seats this time. This is why we are going to go to the People's Court, because in a democracy, People are supreme. Whatever we have asked Modi,
Okay.
it has fell on deaf ears. He has not
Okay.
cared for all our pleas that we have given.
Okay, Dr. Paswan, final word from you.
No, I think people of Karnataka are now fed up of this lie and the canard and the misinformation campaign of the Congress party. On the one hand, there is 81,000 crore that was given to Karnataka by the UPA government. On the other hand, there is 2.82 lakh crore which was given to Karnataka by the NDA government. Point is very simple. There is a 240% increase in terms of fund
What was the
allocation
budget
when it
size?
comes from central government to the state government of Karnataka. The total baseless false
What is the budget
allegation of
size
the
now?
Congress leadership must
Is
be
it
called
that
out.
high?
You don't have any facts. You don't
The
have any
budget
logic.
size
You
then
don't
and
have
what
any
is the
facts.
budget
You
size
don't have any
now?
logic. Stop spreading the
Modi
misinformation
has looted
and start
cess and
speaking when other people
surcharge
are
from the
speaking.
people of
This is the true sanskar of
Karnataka.
the Congress party.
Cess and
You
surcharge, which
don't
was
have any
just
facts.
No,
9%
You don't
during
have logic,
UPA
and
time,
you speak
has
when other
gone
people
to
are
no, Mr.
speaking.
14,
This is
Satyaprakash,
20% during
preposterous.
Modi's
People
time.
of
Mr.
Karnataka are going to
Satyaprakash,
reject
Cess
you,
and
sir.
let
surcharge
Dr.
collected
Paswan
without
Again,
finish.
committing a
like
tax
in
devolution soon,
2019, like in
thereby cheating the people of
2014, be ready
Karnataka,
to face
Mr.
the
Mr.
defeat
Satyaprakash,
Paswan.
because this is the
People
true
of
sanskar of the
Karnataka will
Congress
teach you a
party.
lesson in the
Mr.
coming
Satyaprakash, please.
2024 election.
My apologies. My
This
apologies.
man
This
has no
cannot
logic,
go
sir.
on. It's a sense. Okay, we will have to end this conversation here. I'm running out of time. There are strong points that have been made on both sides that need to be investigated and perhaps larger economic issues at stake here. There's also larger political and electoral issues at stake here, as Dr. Sandeep Shastri points out. It'll be interesting to watch how this plays out.